Wanting to learn more about pioneering a successful business, we headed to the small west coast town of Hopefield. Spring is a busy time here, not only due to the spectacle of the flowers which transform the landscape, but also with the droves of tourists stopping in to visit a South African business that's making sustainable products from natural beeswax.
I'm Elena van der Westhuizen, the owner of Simply Bee. I'm a beekeeper in Hopefield in the Western Cape. My parents were actually originally from Hopefield and they got married in this church in 1954. And my grandfather thought that my dad needed to get a beehive because he was too poor to put jam on my mom's table. So he gave him a beehive and he said, now you can put honey on my child's table. My entire life, I've been allergic to parabens and alcohol in cosmetic products. And I realized I have all these beautiful ingredients in front of me. I started playing around with it and it was perfect. We do products made with beeswax, propolis, and honey mixed with essential oils. And what is very important to know is that we harvest our honey and our beeswax and propolis from fynbos plants. So what we actually have here is our observation hive. What you see here is a full colony. There's about 60 to 80,000 bees inside here. The bee that we have in the Western Cape is the Cape Cabensis honeybee. It's the only bee in the world that can actually produce their own queen if a swarm is without a queen. What we harvest from a hive is basically the honey, the propolis, and the wax. The propolis is a black paste that they make to protect their hive against viruses, and it's antifungal, antiviral, and antibacterial. The other two things that you get in the hive is royal jelly and pollen. We will never touch those two ingredients because the bees actually need it in their brood box.
Their hives are kept in lush fynbos areas and are only moved slightly when necessary to accommodate changing angles of the sun.
Our main season is in the summer, which is normally from September till February, March. That's when we harvest the crop. And the rest of the season is maintenance work and looking after the hives and cleaning them. The biggest factor that determines the honey crop is the weather, mainly the rain. If you have sufficient rain, then your veld will be good and they've got enough forage to make good honey. A beehive consists basically of two parts. The brood box at the bottom with the bigger frames in, that is where the queen lays her eggs, and then to harvest the honey we put a super on top of that, and they've got shorter frames in, and that's where the worker bees make their honey.
With threats of global warming and pesticides, they're committed to responsible beekeeping practices and creating awareness about the importance of bees to our daily lives.
Ek hou om te werk met bye en om te sien hoe sulke klein diertjies sulke lekker soet goed maak. Ek eet dit baie graag.
Many people often wonder why honey is different in color. And it's just because of the different blossoms that are flowering at the time. Raw honey is honey that has been standing and you scoop off the wax and little pieces that's still in the honey. We just use a cheesecloth to pour our honey through, but even that is a filter, and for that reason that honey is then called pure honey.
They supply locally and to 5 countries worldwide, and the decor of their flagship store matches their handmade ethos.
I always wanted sort of an apothecary feel to it, and when we got the opportunity to have these buildings, we created it with the antique furniture and everything to get the real love and feel for the brand. So this is our product range that you see here. We really try and process the ingredients as little as possible. I make most of my batches in very small batches, no more than 18 liters at a time, to get a good product.
They believe in pioneering innovation, but still using old-school classic learnings.
Hierdie is 'n beiewasvel wat ons dan also opsny en dan ek druk altyd die candle wick, druk ek vas hier in die kant en dan rol ek hom so op.
The success of Simply Bee is all about passion. First started with my dad, and then Pierre and me with the products. And I believe that if you have a passion and you've got the right ethics, you cannot go wrong with any business and you will succeed.
Bees are so important to the balance of life. It's great to hear stories of people protecting some of our smallest and most precious creatures.
Get more of the Insider SA online. Follow, connect, engage, and be inspired to live better with the Insider SA. Watch the show Monday evenings at 5:30. Repeat Saturday at 1 on S3.